one thing we've been running away from for too long, many lives. We've lived many lives here on this earth. We've been here for centuries. We die and then we come back to this earth, to our creation. Us as a human race. We are one and together in this existence, in this physical reality on this planet. Those who have died are here with us. They are walking a process in a different dimension that is one and equal to what we are walking here. And that is through the consequence we have created and walking it into a correction to balance what we have imbalanced in our reality to thus be in equilibrium, equilibrium is a point of understanding, a point of predictability, a point of, in a way, directive control. Not totally, I would say, but we can control many outcomes of our reality if we are balanced, understanding, and know who we are within and without every being on this planet. When we are separate, living in our own bubbles, in our own worlds, in our own family units, separate from other family units, and we are kind of living to survive, we are creating imbalance, and that is what is creating the suffering in our reality. Because we go into competition, we go into ideas, beliefs about some being more or less rich, poor, deserving, undeserving, and within that we go into blame or self-righteousness, where we become egotistical, ignorant, and on the other end we become weak and not having the ability to direct ourselves, insecure. So what is needed is a balance within each of these polarities, the egotistical and the insecurity, becoming confident, becoming able to direct yourself. And egotistical, you need to realize and become humble and walk that correction that is here to balance out that point of egotistical to just be here, moving, not more or less than what is here, than who you are as a living being on this planet, breathing just like every other living being on the planet. No one is more or less, regardless of what someone looks like or what they have or who they are or what species they are, and for that matter. In the end, or in the truth of who we are, we're all here as equals. We're all one within the human race and within the plants and nature and the animal kingdom. And when we realize that, when we start to live that understanding that we're all equal, that we start balancing our society, letting go of the idea that some deserve more or some deserve less, letting go of our addictions to having more and allowing a lack with others. When we realize that we're all equal, we're all one, and that each one has to have the sustenance to live a decent life, and we realize that each one is actually ourselves, that what we'd want for ourselves is what others would need and want, and to not give that is only disempowering and creating suffering for yourself. So it's illogical, it's non-commonsensical to not give as we would like to receive, because we're creating our own hell in a way, and it doesn't make sense. So it's a process that each one has to walk and realize and correct within themselves to balance those polarity points and to just being here, just being direct, just being life, living in what is actually happening in reality. A cup drops, you pick it up. A dog barks because he has to pee, you let the dog out, or you take it for a walk. There's a pile of papers on your desk that need to be sorted and filed. You sort them and file them. Not going into any kind of emotional movement that others should do it or you don't want to do it, but just realizing the task is there and doing it when the time is available to do it. Not letting it postpone and sit and go into reaction, but just walk that practical step in reality. Walk the step by step, moving, changing, correcting yourself, always moving to be the best you can be. As you walk that, you will grow, expand, and change within yourself. You will become more aligned with life living in this reality and the best of yourself as you will start to create that in your world. And eventually, over time, we will create the balance that is actually real, is actually what is best for all. And once we realize that and start living it, our world will change. The suffering will change and eventually end as we will create the solutions for what is here as suffering. So it's all within ourselves. It's all specifically within the human race because we are humans and we have to deal with our own race and what we've created within our own lives and thus within the human, everybody's life. None are free until all are free. That's a living principle that should always be in focus. And also one and equal as life. Everybody is one and equal, and give as you like to receive. Living those principles are key and will always support in the best life possible, not only for yourself, but for everybody. And if everybody is living the best life, you are too. So it's common sense. It just makes sense. So these are some points of me realizing how to let go of suffering in this world. What is it going to take to end suffering or alleviate a lot of suffering that we're facing here as consequence that we've created over not only this life, but many lifetimes in the past. So check out DestiniWiki.com where so much is discussed. It's incredible of all these kind of topics. All sorts of outlets such as Facebook groups and things like that. It's fascinating, and it's time for us to realize these points and start living the change to create the world that we all want to have lived out, which is peaceful, suffering stops, and we all are able to live our highest potential. Thanks for listening. Till next time.